Hello, it's New Year's Day, and I just wanted to report on an interesting situation I just went through. Um, you know, if you think you're not gonna encounter uh, uh, one or more of the 2 million illegal immigrants that crossed our border this summer, you gotta think a little more realistically. Um, Two situations where a few different situations over the months I've felt I've been looking at some of these illegal migrants. And one happened north of Duluth at a Walmart where a trio of guys with very heavy Central American accents and secondhand clothing were going on a shopping spree at Walmart's. And it's like, okay, that's a little out of place here. But it was in July. Actually, it was July 4th. And so things had been rolling for quite a few months. I had another encounter just now. So, to preface my experience, I speak Spanish. I was a Latin American Studies major in college. I've been to South America. I've known Central Americans, Mexicans, legal immigrants, illegal immigrants, and and I know some things about Texas, where I am now. So, these guys were wearing secondhand clothing, not the fashion of the U.S. And that may be criticism, but the logic is Texans have money. They work. They don't wear secondhand clothing. And furthermore, they're at the beach with their families, their children, their nephews, their aunts, their uncles, their grandparents, their families. You don't see four 22-year-olds cramped into a car and eating out of the trunk at the beach. They weren't enjoying the beach, they were just parked. Unfortunately, they were parked next to me. And and for whatever reason, they started putting their hands on my vehicle, leaning against my vehicle. And they found out promptly I was in my vehicle. And they did it regardless. Now, there was one guy in maroon that you don't see pictured that just kind of had a nasty demeanor. He didn't look friendly, He threw the crust of his ham sandwich or whatever angrily at the sand in front of my vehicle. And okay, so one important thing to note is you don't mess with people in Texas. Everyone in Texas knows that. And everyone in Texas I have encountered on a day-to-day basis have been wonderful. They've been very nice, very open, very friendly, very giving. And you don't do something like repeatedly put your hands on a guy's car or vehicle or lean up against the vehicle, especially if you know they're in your vehicle. That's not Texas behavior. No one in Texas would do that. They would know better. These guys were marking their territory, you know. And I was in the middle of cooking my lunch when this started happening. And it kept escalating. And it's like, what are these guys up to? What's going to happen next? And, you know, it's not inconceivable that they were eyeing up my vehicle, because it would be great to, as an asset, to, you know, smuggle more people. And I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have piled into my vehicle, overpowered me in silence, closed the door, and drove away, you know. Cartel people are dangerous. And like I said, no Texan would do this. And, you know, the other red flags being secondhand clothing, and I didn't hear them speak, so I don't know what kind of accent they would have had. But so eventually I knew that I just had to leave. I tried to honk the horn one time when a guy leaned up against my vehicle, and I'm glad that didn't work. The next time I slammed one of my car doors shut and locked it, and that got the attention of that maroon unsavory guy, and they just kept on doing it. So I'm like, okay, so why? So eventually my ramen noodles finished cooking, and they did it again. And this time I leaned forward, started the van, and, you know, the guy jumped, you know, because he was leaning against the hood, and I climbed up into the front seat and left. So I didn't want them to follow me. I didn't want them to know where I was going, because, you know, they could have been eyeballing my vehicle. And you know what? And, you know, we are very neighborly and giving and diverse and welcoming in Texas. So, you know, suffice it to say, let's go Brandon, because you put neighbors in fear of what could happen because of your open borders policy. And, you know, you're ignoring the fact that known terrorists are crossing the border, that the whole world knows that the border is open, and you're doing nothing to stop it. And it's a shame. It's a shame. I think I'm right about these guys. Convince me that I'm not, because no Texan would do this. You know, they were looking for trouble, or didn't mind if there were trouble, and Texans wouldn't do that. No way, because they know what could happen. All right, it's a shame. Let's go, Brandon. Oh yeah, and another thing, I'm really ticked because when I slammed the door shut and a few minutes later drove away, I left my flip-flops on the ground. So I'm gonna have to go back eventually and see if they're still there. I'm confident that they will be, and hopefully those 4 dudes aren't there. So Yeah. Yes, I got my flip-flops back. The dudes were gone, at least in that spot. So anyway, yeah, I had to walk a mile to get them back. I didn't want to drive, and I should have been resting and quarantining, but I'm feeling a lot better, especially today, especially now. I'm not achy. If you move around and get active, pain diminishes. So I'm not out of the woods yet, but I'm just walking gently and trying to wanted to resolve the story for today. Yeah, it's unfortunate that my day ended up being disrupted, but at least it's a nice day. Kind of had somewhat of a shower because I discovered a sidewalk shower area this morning that I never knew existed, so that was kind of a bonus. Cold water, but wait for the sun to come out and go to town.